In all fairness, most of my subscribers are men. So today, I ran into an old friend of mine, and the main theme of our visit was men's mental health. And it's so interesting because it is June. And is it June Men's Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month? I guess DEI kind of did away with the announcements, the publicization. I don't even know what the hell I'm trying to say. I guess with the end of DEI, I haven't heard much about Juneteenth. I haven't heard anything about men's mental health awareness, and I've heard very little about Pride Month. So, but it doesn't matter because a couple months ago, I did a video talking about men's mental health back in January. I did not post the video, but I'm sitting here waiting for this car on the charger. So I decided that I want to talk a little bit about mental health with men. I love you guys so much. And I just wanted to add a few notes before I play this video. Because I gotta play with my hands. I have studied men and women for a few years now. I've been very big. You guys know I talk about masculine and feminine energy. So I want to understand where these energies come from. I'm not going to lie. I can't figure out where men came from. And from my studies, so first of all, you guys understand that I'm a woman and this is a woman's perspective on these topics. I'm not here to steal, kill, or destroy. I'm not here to fight or bring anyone down. I adore men. I believe that men are the chosen leaders of this world. And if the leaders aren't in good standing, if the leaders aren't healthy, then no one's going to be healthy. So I think that it is very important that we get to the bottom of a few things. Men do come from women, but they also come from somewhere else. That's what I really don't understand. And if you look outside of like the biblical sense, I'm trying to understand biologically where men come from and why our only descriptions of them are protectors and providers. So their job is to work and pay the bills, or their job is to make the woman the family feel safe, the family feel protected, to protect the family. Is that all what men are supposed to be here for? To protect the society, to protect the union. Oh, I like that. There's got to be more to men than just, it almost feels like a robotic function. So because of that, also we allow men to be free. There is no, your body is a temple. It's boys will be boys. There is no emotional freedom. There is shame and vulnerability. You better be pride. Hey. So I really don't understand. The perception is to glorify men because they are the leaders and at the top. But normally what's most important is most precious. Therefore, we honor this as a sacred thing, and we have boundaries and rules to guard these men. And I don't feel like men have that protection. So that's very interesting. In my video that you're about to watch, you're going to find me talking about men as leaders. So I'm going to be talking about leadership, protecting yourself sexually. But I don't talk about men with having PTSD as a whole, men having a lack of information on who they are and what they're supposed to be. Men who, okay, so we have this whole thing where people talk about, oh, it's because they're fatherless. Even if a lot of people, men and women who have daddies, will tell you our dads were still always at work. So dad wasn't there on the day-to-day to see the day-to-day things happen and be able to correct it. Or we didn't see dad that much so that we could see dad going through a hardship. Men and women getting to see what it looks like for a masculine figure to overcome a hardship, to overcome any type of hardship and still keep the family with love, keep the family together. We didn't get to see dad struggle and keep his family together. We didn't get to see dad struggle and keep his wife happy, to keep his family together. We did not see dad go through these things. And so now you have all these generation of men and women behind that don't know what that looks like. Because all we saw was working all the time in front of the TV. My dad played with us on the weekends. My dad took us to the park. My dad did stuff for us. And then you have people who didn't have fathers who all they saw was a man who ran. So when times get tough, you get ghost. So these are things that I just want to talk about. I'm not saying this is good, bad, right, or wrong. I don't think I gave too much of an opinion on a lot of these things. I'm going to play this video. Tell me what you think about it. The comment section. I don't even close that shit anymore. It's open, okay? If you want to cuss me out, cuss me out. Men, to me, are pivotal in society and pivotal in this world. I love men. I honor men. This is my disclaimer. I should say that. Disclaimer. I love men. I honor men. So I wanted to do a video because I feel like you guys are going through some things and I'm here for you. I want to start this video off in honor of my father. I love you, Dad. I love you a lot, Dad. My dad is literally the most balanced, mentally stable man, even let's say emotionally stable man I've ever met in my life. And without his balance, I would not know any different. I mean, balanced enough to hold down several careers and retire from them. Balanced enough to raise 5 children, one of them being his adopted nephew. Balanced enough to marry one woman and be married to her for 42 years. Balanced enough to amazingly love his kids and his grandkids and nieces and nephews. Balanced enough to hold down finances for his entire family. Balance. And men like that, that's the real Superman. You guys think a Superman is someone who can, I don't know, weave through the city on a web, or if you, I don't know, run through walls. But to me, a Superman is someone who can love hard and still balance this crazy ass world so that other people can shine their light. So thank you, my dad, the Superman. Real quick, this hoodie I'm wearing. Everybody always asks me what it says if you actually go close. I have no idea what it says. Oh wait. Alpha motif. So I was at this Italian restaurant and I had this hoodie on with, I normally wear like a hoodie and then a nice jacket or a nice trench coat so people think I'm dressed up more than I am, especially in the wintertime when it's cold, right? So I'm wearing this and the manager walks up to me and he's like giving me compliments on this hoodie. And I was like, oh yeah, check this out. I was like, yeah. So he asked me what the hoodie meant, what it was about. I told him I had no idea. This hoodie was left in my car back in like 2019, 2020. There was only 2 people that it could have been, this guy or my nephew. My nephew passed away shortly after that. I assumed it was his. The guy told me it wasn't his. So I really assume it's my nephew's, although sometimes I think the guy doesn't know the hell he's talking about. Some people just... Because I really think it was his. Anyways, so I decided to finally find out where this hoodie comes from, and I look up Alpha Motif on Instagram, and it's a clothing brand. So I looked them up, and I hit them up. And really cool. In a few words, the guy said that I asked him what the words were saying and what the brand stood for. And he was saying that this comes from a line from a few years ago. And he was helping some loved ones with mental health. And this was information off of a pamphlet for a specific drug. And he was getting out his frustration that he had toward the system for the lack of information on these conditions. So he's really like a freedom fighter. And I was like, oh, that's me. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about men's mental health today and wear my Alpha Motif hoodie because you guys are so precious and you don't get enough love. I think that you guys need some love. I'm here for you. All right. So we don't know where y'all came from, men. As you know, we live in a predominantly female world. Women are the majority, even though they are labeled minorities. Not only that, okay, in addition to that, or however, we know that we live in a patriarchal society where men run everything. Last night, my sister's longtime partner's been over here, and he was like, men have it so hard, da, 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 da. And I've been hearing this from men a lot lately, how they feel frustrated with the world because everything gets put on their backs. What is it? Nine of Wands, everything gets put on their back. But then they also have to show this strong force, and they have to whatever. And then now lately they're getting the blame for all these things. And so I was trying to explain, like, you guys are leaders. You guys are literally the leaders. And it's not so much that, this is good. It's not so much that things are hard or had to be hard. It's that we live in a system where a small group of people decided to make it hard for everyone. And our warriors, you, the men, aren't fighting. And neither are the women. I'm not saying, this is not, hold on now. We are not blaming anybody, because the last thing I want is you to think that I'm blaming you or making this a competition or a war. That's my whole thing that I'm against, is competition between men and women, or that there's a war or blame shifting or blame going. What my intention for this video is to help men understand that they are the power, okay? And just go over some things that just really don't make sense. So back to what I'm saying is, our warriors are busy watching football instead of being in the fight. That's not what I meant. One of my friends was talking the other day. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she keeps saying that we're going through a sacral shift right now with our sacral chakra. Everyone's talking about the divine feminine is waking up and she's becoming the dark feminine. I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of these dark feminine or divine feminine things, but what's happening is we are having some type of evolution with, yes, your sacral chakra, which is like where your hips are, your pelvic area. This is where a lot of trauma is stored. That's why you've been hearing in the last couple of years things about healing your trauma, because there's a whole shift going on in your sacral chakra. We're going from the sacral chakra. Okay, so real quick, the sacral chakra is talks about your relationships with the world outside of you. So yes, it is the chakra of sexual energy, but it's also the chakra of how the world relates to you, your relationship with the world around you, and those things are intertwined, right? So what's happening currently is a lot of people are looking at themselves and looking at a lot of past traumas, and yes, blaming in one sense or another, but really just trying to get out of that type of energy. So this is an evolution. And with men, this looks like them coming back to themselves. So for the past, if you guys are one of those 90s music fans, you'll see that in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the music that most popular male artists had was about love and loving their woman. I'll make love to you. Just very sensual. But ever since the late 90s, ever since hip hop era, when you get to manipulate music and manipulate the people through music, like hip hop, rap, even rock, even country, a lot of the music has turned more perverted. And I mean that in a sense of ill-dignified is the word I meant to say. Ill-dignified, where nothing is about the heart. We're going further and further away from the heart. Everything was just about backing that ass up. And that shit was really catchy ass song, I'm not gonna lie. But degrading. And the more and more women were degraded, the more they just started to go with the flow and decide, okay, well, it's a doggy dog world. They're gonna be dogs, we can be dogs too. They played the game. Women played the game. And now you're seeing a shift where men are like, wait a minute, this is not attractive. We don't want women who are just nasty out here in the streets. We don't want women who are just going to be cheaters. So now you're seeing the shift of men coming back more to the heart center as women have gone away from it. However, the world is still telling them that they have to be these hardcore providers, and they don't want to work all the time either. I feel like men are realizing that the gaslighting and all this, telling a group of people that they are the best, you're the strongest, and you're the smartest. Now we need you to go take your best ass out there and go work and make all the money. And we may or may not give you access to the responsibilities of the households, but we need you to take your ass out there and work. And don't get it twisted. I'm all for what the masculine feminine rules. However, we also have to take into account that we are currently living in a society that purposefully brainwashes you into working until you can't, which is working until you die. So there's no balance in that. There's no work. There's no there's no such thing as work-life balance unless you prioritize it yourself. The company that you work for, these businesses that you work for, if they can, will let you work till you die. Like, if you can. So now we have this beautiful generation of men who are realizing that they kind of maybe got the short end of the stick, but it's being, coated in chocolate and covered in sprinkles, where we're being told that we are the best and we're the strongest, and we're the majority, but really we're the minority. We're being told to work our asses off. Is she working? Absolutely, she is working. Even if she's a stay-at-home mom, she's working her ass off. But still, she gets to stay home while I'm at work. And I had to pay all the bills. And a lot of men don't want to live like this anymore. Not that they don't want to work, not that they don't want to provide for their children and their family, but they don't want to miss out on this anymore. This mixed with a society that tells men that they cannot express themselves. And a lot of men, I won't say most, but probably most. I just don't know the statistics, so I don't want to say that. But a lot of men have mother or father wounds. Check out my video on mother wounds and father wounds above. So this all mixed together, you have a ticking time bomb. And that's what's happening in our society. This is why they talk about how most of the time when there is violence, it's more, random acts of violence are majority men. Women are violent, but it's more matters of the heart than it is with men. So now you have a mental health pandemic because now you also have men. Now you also have men trying to numb the pain through love, through hookup culture, through alcohol or drugs or gaming or drifting online, things like that. Food is a really bad sugar. So you have all these issues, and you have all these people who are just adding to the problem because they're popping pills or doing drugs. So they're just adding more to the problem. You have yourself a ticking time bomb, especially with men. And I talked about in another video where I was talking about this rate for men under 40. I don't know what we said it was, but the link above is the videos, the link above. But basically, the odds ain't cute. The psychiatrist was an Indian man who was doing a podcast with Diary of the CEO, and he was talking about how the number one threat to a man under 40 is himself. And that's because he has all these built up traumas and he has no way to get it out. In our Western culture, we teach people to soothe themselves through things like video games or drugs and alcohol. We are not big on teaching people to meditate, to do breath work, to go dance, to go, to get that trauma out of your hips. We're not taught about EFT tapping. We're not taught about acupuncture, acupressure as means to get these trauma points out of your body and to detox and refresh yourself. Other cultures are, and they lived more balanced lives, and they live more balanced lives. So that's where my book, 31 Ways to Flow, comes in. That's right. You can download that for free in the Stand store. 31 Ways to Flow. It just talks about over 31 ways that you can stabilize your vagus nerve so that you can flow through life. Flow as in be in alignment with an easier version of life. Be more in alignment with a more calm you, a more confident you, where things just kind of go in place. These are things that if you do them consistently, you will see a more improved version of you and the world around you within literally like 3 days. Really, really less than that. But just for the newbies, we'll say 3 days. Now, I want to talk about some things that don't make sense. So first of all, it makes absolutely no sense to tell men that they are the end all be all best. You are the emperor. However, we don't hold you accountable for anything and we don't teach you anything. So how can you be the best if you're not continuously growing? You know how the whole thing where they talk about the underdog or the nerd in school is going to be like the most successful because trauma builds people. The group of people that get picked on, they have more of a reason to shine, to glow. They have a good come up story. So when you have a group of people that you just don't give any energy to, you don't help excel, it's not in the culture to get these men to a higher place. I'm not just talking about regular education. I'm talking about trauma, emotional intelligence. I'm talking about mental space. Because if you have these leaders, they can't be a leader in the family if they're not continuing to evolve within themselves. If they're not growing within themselves and bringing that to their family, how are you an emperor? It doesn't even make any sense. We're sitting here calling these men kings. They're not getting what they need to be kings. And I want all of us to have this, but especially the leaders of the family need to know what they need to know to get the family to another level. How are you supposed to teach your son about stocks and bonds and you don't even know? And if you are in that boat, you can take a free class on a lot of these platforms. Like Google has a whole university, or you can go to things like, I should say that in the beginning. No one's sponsoring me. I'm just giving you guys some bread. You can go to YouTube and watch videos for free. You can go to places like Coursera or Skillshare, or there's a whole bunch of places. Use the internet is your BFF as long as you are using it to better yourself and not to waste your time and drift. But yes, you can go to any of these places and learn about money. So if you didn't have a father that was able to teach that to you, go learn it so that you can teach it to your children. Bring that information back, because as long as you are stressing in life, you're not going to be able to grow and you're going to be sick. So this is about getting out of that survival mode. Another thing, this burns my biscuits. A couple nights ago, I went on a date. I'm not really dating, but I am. I'm not really dating, but this guy asked me out for 2 months. Since October. We're in January. Happy New Year, by the way. We're in January. And I would not go, I would ditch and dodge him. I'm a mom. I got things to do. I'm not really in my dating era. I'm really chilling, right? And healing. So finally I go on a date with him. I'm gonna tell you, I pull really good men. T's crossed, I's dotted, financially well, takes good care of his body. He eats a specific diet Monday through Friday and cheats on the weekends, had his finances together, owned a home and was buying another one. I mean, just all these things. He took care of himself. And we're on the couch, Netflixing. I'm thinking we're just watching, what was that show we were watching? Ozark or something like that. Never seen it before. Heard of it, but I don't watch TV. This dude tried to chill with me. I was, oh my God, sir, what are you doing? This is my first date. I just met you. We're just hanging out. And it's not even because I'm a girl and because I know that men deem girls real foes if they do things with them soon. That's not even I'm a girl. That's what I can do what I want. But you should, sir, you should be, your body, man, your body is a temple. Your penis is sacred. Do you guys not realize that without you, post 1950, post parthenogenesis, without you, a woman can't even get pregnant. We can have sex 10,000 times, but if you don't release your sperm, a woman cannot get pregnant. That means you are sacred. Your penis is sacred. You can't just be waving around here. This is not the Disney Channel. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all just be dipping and dabbing. And it's not even about STDs. This has nothing to do with STDs. You know what it has to do with? It has to do with the energetic, whatever, ingredients in the air. People are sacred. Your body is a what? Okay, actually, hold on, because I want you to see my earrings. I'm sacred. Your body is a temple. And when you dip and dab in different temples, you're dipping and dabbing in different energies and different gods and different frequencies. And you're taking nasty Susan to nasty Jessica and then home to your girlfriend. And this is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous. And it ain't even that. I already told you guys in past conversations. It really has nothing to do with all these females. But when you spread it thin and wide, you have nothing to give yourself and you have nothing genuine to give the people around you. So you want this sacred, beautiful bond, but you're a liar. I didn't mean to cuss. You're deceitful. You are a fraud energy. So when you think that she's out and about, it's really a reflection of your infidelity, a reflection of your fraudness, a reflection of your Seven of Swords. You cannot ask for a happily ever after if you're not participating in that. If you're a cheater, you're going to be cheated on. If you're a liar, you're going to be lied to. So you guys better start acting like you want somebody to love you genuinely and like you want a bond. I think it's really weird how you watch these celebrities and these football players and all they say is all men cheat, or all they say is women, I don't want a girlfriend, I don't want a wife. They're saying that because they're numb and they're hurt, or they come from watching people. This is mother and father wounds. And it's really sad that we come to earth to have this beautiful, loving, sensual, and sexual experience with ourselves and the people around us. And you can't even have the best thing in life because you're too afraid because of what's going on around you. And this shit only, and I don't want to say it only goes down in the United States because it is other places, but it's the fakest here. This hookup culture has messed us up mentally and emotionally. You got people who can't even be with the person that they love because of their own traumas in their head. Love is not this hard. Love is not this hard. It's supposed to be unconditional and alpha. And you got people afraid to be vulnerable and afraid to love because of the hurt that everyone else is put around here. We've got to end this shit because I don't want my son growing up in this crap. I promise you, I will move to another country and let him marry a foreigner. He will marry a foreign gal because he's going to be balanced. I don't give a damn. He's going to be real balanced, masculine, balanced energy. So there's this stigma, this false narrative that it's okay if men do things that are deceitful because women are stronger. So when women do it to men, it hurts them more. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. How do you know what she feels? And what scale do you have to measure it in comparison to yours? Any strength that a woman has, she has because she was, from a young age, was taught to expect to get her heart broken. Not saying that that is good or bad or right or wrong, just saying that that is what it is. So she's already got herself ready, especially the melanated sisters. We've had to deal with a lot. So we've already gotten used to numbing ourselves. It hurts, but it's happened before. For you guys, you're just now getting betrayed for the first, second, third time. And you can't take it shit. You're like a little baby. Nothing personally happened to me recently. I'm I'm noticing these things because you guys, when I put the brakes on old buddy, it was like the date was over. Actually, I was like, I think I'm gonna go because it just got awkward because I realized I'm like really into Ozark. The man had just gotten kidnapped. His kids are looking for him. His wife goes downstairs and gets the rifle and tells the kids to go upstairs. I'm like in the show. And he's feeling some type of way because he wants to do other things. This ain't a date. You weren't here to date me. You were here for... I'm just being used. So I went home. And there were other more important things going on at home. So that was good. Was there anything else I want to say to y'all? Because I've not been looking at the time. I kind of feel like I've just been ranting. Give me a second. Oh. I want to talk about ways to feel better. Everyone's going to tell these men to go to therapy. But not all men have the money, the funds, the time, or even the vulnerability to go to therapy. But the number one thing that I've been telling you guys to do for this whole time is stabilize your vagus nerve. It doesn't matter what your problem is. And when I say it doesn't matter what your problem is, I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't matter what your problem is, inside, outside, upside down. If you would stabilize your state of being, that will change your life. If you're short on money, you need to stabilize your state of being. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for your son because I stabilize my state of being. Okay, sometimes I'm corny. All right, if you're having girl problems, stabilize your state of being. If you're having, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I just told you. If you're having work problems, girl problems, health problems, heart problems, stabilize your state of being. With my book, 31 Ways to Flow. Find it in my stand store. Or you can go online to YouTube. There's affirmations, there's meditations, there's inner childhood wounds healing. There's so many different meditations. I've said this in so many different videos, and I'm going to continue to say it in so many different videos because this is all you need to do. Did I just say my job? Once you stabilize your state of being, that's going to put you in a place where now you can branch off. Yes, I have long fingers. And you can make other decisions. Things are going to happen. Things are going to start working for you. You might end up going back to school. You might start a business. You might buy a house. You might, so many things are going to happen for you. Continue to stabilize your state of being. Don't stop. Also, read books on what you want. There shouldn't be a single person in this country of the United States that isn't reading about money, especially in the time right now where money is really changing for our country. You should be reading about money. You should be a money expert because when you become a money expert, you start to understand how money works. You start to be able to use your money better. It doesn't matter if you're making $50 or $500,000. You'll start to be able to use your money better, and that will bring in even more money. So you should always be learning about money. You should always be working on your emotional intelligence, but that starts with stabilizing your state of being. You should always be looking at your self-concept and what you think about yourself and what you tell yourself about yourself, because everything is mental, all is mind. Don't come in this video. You're making me have to pause this. How can I help you?
I just wanted to check on you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. No, I'm okay. You happy now?
Yeah, just.
You know I can't have kids in my video. I'll have to tell them.
Oh, so
yeah, it's okay because I just don't. We can do a video together one day, but it's gonna have to be planned.
Okay.
We can totally do a video together.
Hey guys, I'm her nephew.
This is my nephew.
So sorry I can't show my face.
And your hair is being done.
Yes, I'm taking a break right now.
Okay.
And make sure you like and subscribe to Earth's channel.
Like, share,
yeah.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna finish. I'm almost finished, matter of fact.
Okay.
Yes. So talk to a therapist. Go see a therapist if you can. If you can't, just watch. If you would watch more motivational videos online and less videos about DNA tests and Maury, Jerry Springer, World Star video games, read books. You know what's a good book to read? Conversations with the Devil. Napoleon Hill, I believe it is. There are books for free. There are audiobooks for free online, so you can read while you're driving. You should always be trying to work on yourself. My friends the other day said the one thing that they love about me, why I come around all the time, is because I'm always about upliftment and what we can do to be better, grow better, make more money, have more fun, learn. I'm such a learner. They called me the word. They did. She called me the word. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring that word to you. So I think that's all I wanted to say about mental health with men. I also want you to know that more and more women are supporting your journey. Some of y'all do act like bitch ass nah. Some of y'all do act feminine in situations where you need to be less dramatic. And that's okay. But also be okay with a woman saying that, because for a long time you have to realize we were told that we weren't allowed to be feminine either. We're in this together. We are in this upliftment evolution together. Correct her, but don't be mad at her. And some of y'all really are acting like that. So some of y'all really do need to be told to man up. It's polarity. It's, there's levels to this, right? The only other thing that I would say is work on your vulnerability. Vulnerability is always, and I've said this before, vulnerability has always been seen as a weakness, but it's actually a strength. The difference between it being a weakness is a strength is your comfortness with being vulnerable. So if you're awkward about it, it's okay, because if you just do it more and more, say it. Say it. That's the one thing I tell people is you can preface. If you tell people that you are feeling a little shy or awkward, it automatically breaks the ice a lot more. So if you are talking to a woman and you want to tell her something, and you want to have a hard conversation with her, start by saying, this is hard. I'm having a hard time having this conversation with you, but you are that important to me. So I would like to talk to you. Ooh, the man said that to me. And this is for anybody, or, whatever you're trying to do. If you're in a weird, awkward situation, just say, I'm feeling this way, but this is really important. I know this is kind of weird, but whatever. If you do that, break the ice, it'll help. Also, you got to trust yourself. And the more you build confidence within yourself through self-concept, the more you're going to start trusting yourself. And therefore, when you do something stupid or something embarrassing, that's not you. You're going to laugh, and it's not going to be mortifying to you. And you're going to feel more confident to try new things. That's only going to make you even cooler. I think I heard someone say once that you gain self-trust and confidence through doing things that you didn't know that you could do. So you take the action and do them. And then whether you fail or succeed, just because you did it, you're going to feel more confident. Even if you fail, there's really no such thing as failure. You just got to realign. So you change what didn't go right and you do it again. And with success comes banging ass confidence and trust. And then you're there. I'm done talking. Can you guys tell? I just feel like, in all fairness, I don't want to say it in this video. My family's going through some things right now. And just going with the flow, because that's what life is. With that being said, I am Shayla Jade. Please be sure to share this with someone you think will find value in it, even if I might have rambled more than I wanted to. I didn't ramble. This helped you. I know it did. My love is your love. Peace.